Luis Figo's offhand remark about swapping Pedri and Federico Valverde landed like a flare over a packed stadium, bright, impossible to ignore, and guaranteed to spark debate. When a man who once triggered one of football's most toxic transfer episodes points at two current players and says he'd exchange them, it pushes this beyond simple opinion into something that forces clubs, pundits and supporters to reassess what they value. Look at Pedri first. Barely out of his teens when he first broke into Barcelona's first team, he has always carried the kind of composure and ball intelligence that rewires a midfield. He threads passes other players don't see. He can slow a frantic game into patient geometry, and he brings that rare mix of technique and decision-making that makes his coach's life easier. Swap him out of Barca and you take away the team's metronome, the player who helps the whole system breathe. Then look at Federico Valverde, the Uruguay-born engine of Real Madrid, relentless, direct and brutally useful in the transit. Valverde closes down space, sprints box to box with a stamina that defines modern athletic standards, and gives a manager a tactical plug-in who can cover ground, break up play, and finish with purpose. Figo's suggestion that these two should be interchangeable pieces reveals a lot. Top clubs today prize both the cerebral and the combustible, the player who can control tempo and the one who imposes physicality, and they prize them so highly that swapping them reads as plausible to a seasoned observer. It also forces a fresh look at Figo himself, because this is not commentary from someone detached from consequence. He wrote his name across the Barcelona real rivalry with a transfer that still echoes. He knows what a club switch can mean for identity, for anger, and for the market. Mentioning Pedri and Valverde in the same breath is a statement about the modern game's priorities, adaptability, youth, and roles that can be monetized. And Figo's reflection about fees, how even the eye-watering sums of his era look tiny compared with today's headlines, hems the argument with a reality check. The conversation moves quickly to tactical hypotheticals. Would Real Madrid fold an artist like Pedri into their tempo-centric rotation and risk losing Valverde's bite? Or could they shape Pedri's gifts into a new model of control that elevates Ballon d'Or contenders? Would Barcelona accept the trade-off of losing a metronome for raw engine power? Or does their whole identity depend on nurturing creative continuity rather than swapping for immediate athleticism? Beyond tactics, there are human angles. Fans do not hand over identity lightly, names as symbols. To some Barcelona followers, Pedri is the future and a non-negotiable. For many Madridistas, Valverde is the unseen glue that keeps their machine ticking. The mere notion of an exchange makes supporters imagine the stadium's mood shifting overnight. The market context is unavoidable. Transfers once measured by record sums are now part of a normal rhythm of astronomical payments, and every swap talk invites the question. Figo naming these two players is therefore not just a hot take. It's a mirror held up to the sport's current priorities, an invitation to debate what talent is truly worth when money, identity, and strategy collide. In the end, whether any actual offers or proposals follow doesn't erase the sting of the suggestion. A swap between Pedri and Valverde would be seismic, not because either player would immediately fail at a new club, but because it asks fans to imagine their symbols being repainted. That is the real shock. A legend of the game has essentially asked both sides to consider rethinking what they build around, and once that seed is planted, the argument over who is replaceable and who is indispensable will rage long after the quote fades from the headlines.